Hello and what is up everyone, it's Thunderbob here, and tonight we're going to be checking out the Callisto Protocol. This is a survival horror game in the vein of Dead Space, and I am a huge fan of survival horror games, and Dead Space in particular. That series is one of my favorite, even though the third game was a little weaker. Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I just love survival horror in general. Resident Evil, I've played every one of them, I've got a lot of coverage on the channel, and I've been super hyped up for this. The Dead Space remake that's coming out soon, I'm also really eager for, but I was curious about this being like a new experience, and this is made by the individual, one of the individuals who was very involved in the original Dead Space. So it almost feels like this is like a spiritual successor from some of the people that brought that original game out. The reviews I've seen this morning, I'm playing this the morning of release, have been super polarizing. I've seen everything from 5s to 7s to 10s, and it seems like the graphics are really nice, but performance is really bad. It seems like the gameplay gets a little bit stale. It starts out strong. We're going to jump in and check out like the first half hour of this. I'm going to be looking at performance as well as the gameplay. I do have the overlay on here. I'm running a 3080 10700K. So I've got a pretty beefy rig. I do have everything. I maxed it out. I just wanted to see going all the way, you know, how this runs. So I am playing an ultra-wide 3440 by 1440, everything on high, ray tracing enabled, everything enabled high, and that's as high as it goes. There's nothing higher than that. And I did run the benchmark earlier, and it seemed pretty decent. There was some stuttering though, and that's what a lot of the complaints have been on the PC side of things. So I'm really hopeful that this is playable. Yeah, so let's jump in and we'll check this out. We'll go with media. Okay, let me turn off that overlay so I can see. Adjust the slider so that the middle logo is barely visible. You know what, I'm kind of a wuss, so I always kind of go a little bit beyond that. But I also want the colors and everything to be right, the darks to look right. I'm really hoping the ultrawide works correctly. I did a quick Google and it seemed like ultrawide was supported here. That up right off the bat. I don't know if it's the cinematics or lower FPS, but it's running very poorly. And I'm not even at 4K here. That is Karen, I forget her last name, from the Boys. The actress who portrays the character here. You're gonna die.
Shocking footage from Europa. A brazen attack by the Outer Way terrorist group, led by the notorious Danny Nakamura.
That's enough. We got a job to do.
This is Callisto Hangar Control to UJC Karen.
That guy's really sweaty.
The security perimeter.
Roger, hangar control. Laying in course for Europa Station.
That's also an actor. Forget his name though.
You got something to say? You gotta keep flicking that thing all day.
I was watching that.
It's our last run, Max. And I'm done talking about it.
Then what do you want me to say?
How about thank you? Because after this job, we're never gonna have to work another day in our lives.
Well, I guess you got it all figured out.
I guess so.
Come on, man, what is this? Huh? Back and forth, Callisto to Europa, all this additional security.
It's a prison moon, Max. They take the security pretty serious.
And what about the attacks? Huh? How do you explain that?
By the Outer Way? They've been hitting targets all over the sector for the past 6 months.
We got a yellow light in the cargo hold.
That's probably nothing.
Well, it's still worth checking out.
That's Josh Duhamel.
Shouldn't worry so much, you know? Live longer.
Now let's see how bad
Important
performance
starboard
is.
sensors are both showing errors. Go check them out.
I'm going.
Yeah. About 35 FPS. It does look really nice. I might have to turn off ray tracing though. Like, this is not going to be
You
playable.
going or what?
Like, look at those stutters. Jeez. That was one thing I read, was performance was just not great. And stutter in particular, which is kind of an issue. There's a lot of shader stuttering going on in modern PC gaming, and like eventually performance increases, but I don't know if that's what we're experiencing here. This just feels like, okay, for those at home watching, I crashed within the first 5 minutes, and I don't know if that was like, my temperatures weren't bad. It wasn't like an overheating thing. Like, the game just failed. So I've restarted, and I have turned off ray tracing, and you can see it's about doubled my performance. And unfortunately, with a 3080, like, this is a very small enclosed space. Getting 30 FPS, it's just not going to be playable. So I'm going to turn off ray tracing for the rest of this session, and I'm going to play around with the settings later and see if I can get it to be playable. Ray tracing adds a lot to some games, and I feel like a game with a lot of shadows and lighting and like this is the type of game I feel like where ray tracing can be beneficial, like where you got a flashlight and you're shining it down corridors and like the light's bouncing off realistically. This is the type of game that I have a 3080 for the ray tracing, and I don't think I could use it, you know, with that level of performance degradation. That's insane. Like, that's worse than Cyberpunk at release. Yeah, so right off the bat, my my feelings on the performance are very negative, which seems to be what a lot of people are finding. I like the stuttering. Look at the FPS graph there. It's like all over the place. I should lock it. It'd probably be better, but I'm trying to show like max FPS here. I would probably lock it to something more stable if I was playing like normally.
This better be worth the trouble.
I was gonna try this on the Steam Deck, but I saw a video where it ran, but it didn't seem to run comfortable. Look at that. The stutter was so bad there, it like turned my guy around. The Steam Deck, it looks like it ran, but it was like kind of stuttery, and I don't know, just not a great experience. I might do a video on it later, but
Son of a bitch.
I don't know. I'm almost thinking about refunding this until,
Check the other side.
you know, maybe they patch it. Like, I mean, I've got like the 5th best graphics card on the market. I realize it's the first gen 3080. It's only got 10 gigs of RAM, and maybe that's my problem. I was getting close to the 10 gigs. Look at that stuttering. This is with ray tracing disabled. I'm not even at 4K here. I'm at 3440 by 1440. I mean, even with the ray tracing disabled, it's a nice looking game. Like the fog and the lighting and everything, even with ray trace disabled. I think this game only has ray trace shadows and reflections. I don't think it's true ray trace lighting.
The outer way?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Alright, well, you get your ass back up here. And watch your back. You know, it could be anywhere.
Yeah, the stuttering is almost unplayable. Locked now. And I was so hyped for this game. I'm almost like, maybe I'll wait for a few patches. This is not... And there's so many games that just came out. Like, I just got
Search the hold. It's gotta be here somewhere.
Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, which I've been also very hyped up for. I put about 2 hours in. I should have a video up probably before this one goes up. So if you want to see gameplay from that, I have a video up. Also, Midnight Suns literally came out today as well. So maybe I'll invest my time there. That's another one I was planning on purchasing. So I might do some coverage of that as well. I'm kind of just not sure on this one. Like, with the reviews being so mixed, with the performance just being ungodly bad, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll refund this. I've, you know, I'm not put 2 hours in yet, and check it out again.
Max, they're heading for the bridge. Open up. What are you gonna do? Whatever
Oh, it's Karen.
What are you doing? No! Shit!
Depressurize the ship.
Just hold on! I'm on my way!
You know what? I didn't realize I was supposed to do something there. I just watched my guy die. That's like the first death. I have control. I didn't realize I was, like, they wanted me to do something.
Warning. Venting atmosphere.
Jacob, get up here! Hurry!
There's one other complaint I saw in some of the reviews. Was there's lots of quick time events, but also lots of like climbing through vents in a very slow, like methodical, like basically you're just staring at a wall for 2 minutes, and that's what this feels like. Like, why am I holding forward for 60 seconds? Like, that was a very like unintuitive action scene. Literally, that's all I'm doing is holding W.
Transfer flight control to my station! Transfer flight control! This is bad, Jacob! Mayday, mayday, mayday! This is UJC Charon! Returning to Callisto! Requesting emergency clearance!
Negative, UJC Charon. You are not authorized for re-entry.
Sorry, but I got no choice! Coming in hot! Boost the antigraphs! Already at maximum! We're not gonna make it! Yes,
We're not
we
gonna
are.
make it.
Watch out! Hold on! Brace for impact!
Is it gonna be a title card? I feel like that's a title card. Nope. And those character models are really nice. And the animation and everything.
Made it. I told you not to worry. Max. Max.
I don't think Max made it.
Hang on, buddy. I'm coming. Hey. Oh.
Chico. Chico. Oh, I didn't you. Listen.
Hey, come on. Come on. Oh, God damn it.
It's a flash drive. Robots.
One life sign detected. Continuing search.
Black Iron Security. You the pilot?
Yeah.
And him?
He's gone.
We'll just need the one. Okay, let's get you out of here. Manifest says you were running cargo out of the hangar. Don't get many of you freelancers out here.
I was just doing my job.
Don't I know it?
Thermal regulators enabled.
They got to you really fast, didn't they?
We're boarded by
Let go of me.
her. She's the one who... Hey!
Cool your jets, cargo jockey. You do your job. You let me do mine, all right? Sir. Yes, sir?
Whatever you say.
Grab him, too.
Hey! What are you doing? Hey! I didn't do anything!
There it is, late title card. That's a pretty good title, I gotta say. Like, not as good as Dead Space. Like, oh, that's a good one. I thought it just crashed again. I mean, like, my temps aren't terrible. This is a pretty demanding game. And I've actually got my fans lowered a little bit, lower the noise a bit.
Way too late for this shit. Okay, inmates. Do not speak unless they are spoken to.
There's been a mistake. My name is Jacob Lee. I'm not an inmate.
You were inmate 532-521. You address me as Captain Ferris.
What? No. I'm just a cargo pilot. I was attacked by the Outer Way. By her. She crashed my ship and she killed my first officer.
I don't care. Warden's orders. Oh, speak of the devil.
Choice. Every choice in your life has led you here. To this moment. To this place. The only place where you truly belong. To find the one thing that has always been missing. A purpose for your meaningless life. This is Warden Cole. And together, we will find that purpose. Welcome to Black Iron Prison.
I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time. End of the line, get up. Inmates, I gave you a direct order.
This is not right. I don't belong here.
Listen, you know they call Callisto the dead moon. Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. I mean, shit. As far as anyone else is concerned, you are dead. It's time you moved on. Because you're crossing over to a new kingdom.
No.
My kingdom. So whatever it is you're holding on to right there, that's your old life. You gotta let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. Surprise, dead man.
It's kind of a dick.
Okay. Grab her. Let's go.
It's even stuttering in the cinematics here.
You are now entering Black Iron Prison, a division of UJC Corrections. Proceed immediately to new inmate processing.
Hey! Stop it! Hey! Wait! No, you got it!
Is this like the Dead Space scene where you get poked in the eye?
521. Dr. Caitlin Marler, and as per Article 412 of the UJC Penal Code, you will now be fitted with a core device.
The doctor, he's not in the system. We don't know.
Just prep the device.
What the fuck? That device! No! You're a goddamn doctor!
Yes, and I intend to faithfully execute my responsibilities. Try not to move, it'll only make things worse.
Oh, fuck you!
Oh.
Doctor, he's flatlining.
Injector.
So that's how you have like your health on your back, like in Dead Space. Which is like a pretty important component. Like that game had no interface. It was all like in the game world or information you could glean from like looking at your character. That was one of the things I really enjoyed about Dead Space. Where'd the thing go? Still there? It's a Stutterfest. Like, I'm getting decent FPS, but just look at that. Like, the drops. Down to 20 FPS there for a second. I've got a pretty, you know... It's not a 4090, but I'm still rocking the 3080. Is that a children's toy?
Attention. All security personnel, report to the main cell block. This is not a drill. Please, remain calm. There is nothing to fear.
So I'm wondering, is this a time jump? Like, how long has he been here at this point?
Oh my god.
All response teams mobilize immediately.
Did not connect to black wire security net.
I like when the doors tell you if they're locked or unlocked from a distance. You don't have to like explore every single doorway. Is there a map? Okay, so there's the... This is just like Dead Space where you got like the interface right in front of you. So Alt. One thing cool about that is like if you want to switch weapons, you never like break away from the gameplay element. Same thing with healing. That's how like Dead Space like felt very I don't know, like realistic. Like you're not hitting escape and going into like another menu all the time. You're actually interacting with a physical UI in the environment.
Hey man, over here. Bruv, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what the hell's going on. My ship crashed, I got thrown in here, and then I woke up to this. Well, look. You're that pilot they just brought in, yeah? Yeah, well, look, I've been in here half my life. I know this place. I've got a plan to get out. If you help me out of this cell, I'll help you, yeah? But you can use this to get inside a control room across that bridge. You can open my cell from there. My name's Elias, by the way.
Jacob.
Don't lose it, Jacob. I just saved your life.
I got a wrench shiv.
Don't leave me hanging.
Even with ray tracing off, it's a nice looking game. I just wish the performance was more consistent. Alright, I guess I'm not getting that guy out. And the ultra-wide is really nice here. It gives you like that extra space each way. Like I think it adds to the immersion in these type of games, for sure. Dropped to 40 FPS there. Oh, you can see prisoners going crazy over there. I wonder if this is gonna have crazy cults like Dead Space does. Like, the enemies in Dead Space were basically like Scientologists gone crazy. Hold A to dodge, hold D. Okay. Okay. And those FPS drops. That's going to be problematic in combat. Oh! Oh, why would you impale yourself on that? And here is our first creature. Yeah, those FPS drops. If I keep playing this, I'm gonna have to lower the settings even more. Like in combat in particular, going from 100 to 60 to 30 is super jarring. The dodging, you're basically just using A and D, which is weird. It's not like a separate dodge button. It's like actually just your left and your right button. I opened all the cells. Is that a good or bad thing?
Gate's no good. Console's not responding. Back there, I just saw something. It attacked me, and it didn't seem human. What do you want about? I know what I saw. Look, this place can mess with your head, but this is our chance. Whatever it was you saw, it's all the more reason to get out of here. You see that watchtower? Yeah. That's our first stop. Meet me there. How? Elevator's that way. Take it up to the next level. I'll be in touch. Got it.
Got it, bro. He's the only guy that hasn't been an asshole to me. Jesus Christ. Like, just panning the camera up and down. It's like I froze up there for a click. Alright, so there's the dodge. After defeating enemies, press the spacebar to stomp. That's just like, yeah, Dead Space had that same kind of mechanic. You get stuff from them if you stomp them. Look how bloody he is. That's crazy. It's just not super playable.
Can you hear me? Yeah. How?
Enable two-way comms with your core. You may pick up a few tricks when you've been here as long as I have. I see you made it to the lift. Just take it down and find the elevator on that level.
I read some people with like 4090s were having performance problems, which is crazy. That card literally is, you know, like the best card on the market. It's got 24 gigs of RAM, just incredible power behind it, and to still get stutters. Ow. Alright, I gotta get better at timing the attacks. Oh, I lost an arm there. And I gotta dodge more. Like, I'm trying to be too aggressive. I dodged. And it's interesting that they focus so much on melee. From my understanding, like, there is a lot of melee in this game, whereas the original Dead Space didn't have much melee. It was like mostly, like, they had a very interesting system. You press 3 to quickly use a health injector. Okay. In Dead Space, you had these weapons that would dismember the enemies, because most of the enemies you had to like take off a certain number of limbs to defeat. It's kind of cool, and you had weapons that would like slice vertically and then had a secondary, and you could slice horizontally kind of stuff. And it's interesting that this game has such a melee focus. Like, it almost feels like a very simplistic Souls game. I mean, there's, as far as I can tell, there's no stamina.
Elias,
I hit 14 FPS there.
Heading down, not up.
Damn, that means you're headed to solitary. You can
Look at those stutters.
just have to go the long way. Just be careful. They keep the real crazies down there.
And I'll probably be ending this shortly. I just wanted to get like the first 30, 45 minutes on film. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing. Like, look at that. Like, the stutter is so bad. Like, the camera jitters. Like, look right there. I did not mean to spin around like that. And this is with ray tracing disabled. I'm gonna have to lower like medium settings, I feel like, and I don't even, with this kind of stutter, it might not even be like settings based. It might just be shader stutter.
Jacob.
Like, it feels like the basis of a really cool game here with just like really bad performance. Like, if they patch this, like, I feel like even with the kind of mixed reviews, I would check this out if the performance was better. Like, like, it looks amazing. And like, I'm not opposed to a more melee focused like survival horror game. It's an interesting kind of combination. I don't know that I can play it like this unless I can get the performance a lot better. It just dropped to 20 FPS. I also want to drop out of this to be able to check out Midnight Suns. Like, that's the other game I've been super hyped up for. And I also started playing Walking Dead 2 last night, and I'm like 2 hours into that. There's just too many good games to like focus on one that has this kind of performance. I wonder how the console version is. I think this is only next gen. I don't think there was a PlayStation 4 version. If there is, I'd be curious how that looks.
Oh shit, bro. One of my mates. I've known him forever. It was this thing. He attacked me.
Oh, that dude's, he's a goner.
No, but I had to kill him. Kill it. What the fuck is going on?
I hope I get a rig like in Dead Space. Like,
Found the elevator, heading up now.
Good. Now this detour might actually work for us. There's a weapons lockup just past the infirmary.
Good place to gear up.
You'll need to watch out though. Security units are back online.
I don't want to fight robots, I want to fight monsters.
Oh God, no! Move! No, we're not infected!
Lethal force has been authorized.
Jeez.
Area secured. Moving to medical sector.
So this is going to be like a stealth section. So control, toggle, stealth.
Wise? They can't track us.
Prison systems are breaking down like that elevator back there. Just stay out of their line of sight and you should be able to sneak by.
Did they not hear you?
For active core signatures.
Shh. Don't make any
Let them see me.
noise. Back up.
Scanning for movement.
Did I just walk past him, or do I need to go in that room? The door's unlocked. I feel like I'm supposed to go in here.
No activity detected.
Alright, so there was a save there.
Just stay low.
I feel like that guy is gonna catch me. What the? I get some Callisto credits, whatever that is.
This might be useful.
But they just turned off all the lights while I'm still exploring. Okay, so you can turn that back on. That's cool. Not seeing anything else I need to do in here. Okay, I gotta take the fuse from there and put it over here. Kind of simplistic, like, almost like a key card, but not a key card. Might as well just be a key card though. Oh my god, the stutter is so bad. I don't even need the FPS thing on, I could just feel it. Like, if it wasn't for the performance right now, I would say I'm really enjoying this. Like, it looks incredible, it's got a lot of atmosphere. The combat's fairly simplistic. Like, you just have an attack and two, a dodge.
Do not fear it, for it is only through change that we grow, that we become the best version of ourselves. Change can be hard, but it is necessary.
Where's that being projected from? Weird. There's a lot of blood. Keep hitting space instead of E.
Jacob, it's getting worse out here. Where are you?
Made it through the infirmary. Still looking for that weapons lockup.
Okay, you're getting close. Just keep moving.
His big head is in the way. The dodge is like super forgiving. You can almost just like hold down. I'm gonna try it. I'm just holding left. Yeah, he just auto dodges just by holding that button down. That's crazy. There's no timing at all involved. That dude just teleported, right? Yeah, he was like there and then he was there. Is he gonna pop out on the other side? I bet I throw people into those fans. I guess the combat feels almost too simplistic. Like, it's literally just hold left or right and you dodge. There didn't seem to be
The lockup had already been raided.
any
All
timing.
that's left is this baton.
Stun baton, yeah. Those things do pack a punch, though. We are gonna need it. Listen, you're almost to the Watchtower. I had to sneak through, but it's empty now, so you should be good. I'll meet you on the other side.
Yeah, see you there.
Spikes. Why would they have a spiky wall? Is that like if the prisoners are escaping, you activate the spiky wall? That seems really cruel. That looks like a desk you would upgrade your weapons at. I'm assuming, just like Dead Space, there's probably some weapon upgrades and stuff going on. What the? The stutter was so bad there, I couldn't even just tell what happened. Like, I swung my sword, or my baton, and just, like, instantly died. Oh yeah, I was waiting for that. That gore is incredible. Look at that. You can see his rib cage. That is disgusting, but also awesome. Alright, it doesn't seem to be doing anything now. Must have reached peak dismemberment. Alright, you can't just like... Oh, nope, you can. That was pretty gross. My guy is a psychopath. I'm kind of looking for like a good stopping point. Like I feel like I'm done for now. Like I might keep an eye out for patches, but I think I'm gonna jump into Midnight Suns and Walking Dead for at least a little while, and then maybe come back to this when they've worked out the performance issues, assuming they can. Like maybe this is just, you know, they don't patch every game out there. This might just be it.
Almost there.
But I was kind of hoping to kind of get to the end of like the tutorial kind of area. I haven't had to heal yet, but I am in the orange. It's so, like, kind of disappointing, because I was so hyped for this. But alright, I was holding left there, so maybe there is some timing. Man, some of these deaths. And his screaming cries. Very... Dead Space had some really amazing death scenes also. Like that one, you have to like stab yourself in the eye with a needle, and like if you don't hold perfectly still, he gets his eye ripped out. It's like so gnarly. Sometimes I like to die just to like watch how inventive they are. Let's go ahead and let's check out the healing here. Okay. So I bet in combat that's kind of hard to pull off. I bet that. It almost seems like you're better off like getting the dodge and then counter-attacking rather than trying to get the first hit in. So I'm a big mouse and keyboard guy. I'm kind of wondering if this might be better with a controller with the high melee focus. It's also nice that they kind of stand back and wait and they don't come at you more than one at a time. Like, I was... Oh god, oh god. That was horrible. I was dodging there. I bet it's gonna make me do that whole encounter again. Yep. Alright, last try. This is probably the end here, anyways. Yeah, so I'll give my final thoughts here while we're trying. I'm a huge Dead Space fan. This has a lot of that same feeling, but also more melee focused. Like, more melee than I was expecting, for sure. I wonder if I could sneak up on this guy. Not that that's a bad thing. Okay, so there are stealth kills. That seems very useful. God. You're supposed to wait till I'm done with my fight. The, like, thunk sound that your weapon makes is, like... It almost sounds like you're hitting with, like, a hollow, like, aluminum... I dodged there. You saw my guy, like, do the dodge animation, right? Yeah, that was annoying. I swear I was holding the dodge button, and the guy was, like, doing the animation, and then he just ripped my head off. Yeah. So it's Dead Space, but more melee focused. Performance is super sketchy. Like, it's hard to recommend this unless you have a really, really beefy machine. Alright. I failed the stealth. Oh, now I got two of them at once. I think it's because I'm, like, stuck in the animation. Like, there's not animation cancellation. So my guy is like, stuck in that loop. And since you got more than one guy coming at you, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. Like, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, in what I played, it's almost there, but it feels like this could have used a little more time for, especially for performance and polish. The graphics are really amazing. Performance, not so much. Combat seems a little simplistic, but also like kind of, I don't know, unfair at times. At least what I've seen. Like I definitely feel like I've been dodging some of these attacks, and it's just not going through. If you're like a very big survival horror fan, big Dead Space fan, I feel like this might be right up your alley. Again, I was dodging there. I wasn't even holding it. I tapped the button. Okay, I was doing the dodge there. You saw that, right? My guy was dodging to the side. Do I have to dodge to the right? Like to the opposite side of the attack? Because I feel like they didn't explain that thoroughly if you have to. But I'm going to end it here. Obviously, I'm kind of mixed on this. You know, it's $60. It would be hard to recommend at that price point. As much as I love Dead Space, I'm kind of turned off by it right now. Yeah. So if you've been checking this out, if you got thoughts of your own, if you have some settings I could adjust to make the performance here more acceptable, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoy this video, please do like, subscribe, and just thank you again for watching, everyone, and have a great night.